All that is to say, I actually really do like the genre as a whole, but for me, I had played so much Harvest Moon growing up that Stardew Valley was a little bit too derivative for my personal tastes, I guess. So I never really got like that into it. I played it for like off and on casually, but I couldn't really get sucked in. But also because I would not allow myself to get sucked into that game again, because when I was like 21, I was at Ole Miss and I was doing a summer school semester. And at the time I was living in an apartment complex with 2 other roommates, and they were all gone for the summer. So it was like me here for 2 weeks. It was near the end of the summer term. So there's kind of like a long gap between the summer term ending and the fall term beginning. Yeah, there's no combat in Harvest Moon. You're right about that. That comes from Rune Factory, I believe, which is like another offshoot of Harvest Moon where they added combat. So there was like a 2-week period between the end of the summer term and the start of the fall term, when I was just kind of like at school, not really doing, I was still in Oxford. I was not really doing anything in particular. My friend had gotten me Magical Melody for my birthday a few months ago, but I've had this game for a while. And so what I would literally do, and I am not, I guess I'm a little ashamed to admit this, but at the time I thought it was fine. But I would, for that 2-week period, I would basically get up at like 11, late start, play Magical Melody from 11 a.m. to like 4 a.m. and then go to bed, wake up at 11, do the same thing. And I would just have like a pizza from Pizza Hut or whatever. And I would just do that, like play literally the game for like 16 hours a day, doing nothing but that and only stopping to like go to the bathroom. That was and I played MMOs before too. I played Final Fantasy 11 in its heyday, and that was a very addicting game, but no game has ever gotten me as addicted as Harvest Moon Magical Melody. And I mean, it was a lot of fun, but once that bender ended, I just had to like put it down, and I've kind of kept my distance from a lot of farming games since then. So, I mean, I think the game is quite good. There's not really any denying that regarding Stardew Valley. And I will probably play it in the future at some point, because this guy's still adding stuff to the game, which is absolutely nuts. Like, he is very committed to this one game, and he's gotten, handsomely not rewarded. He's gotten great feedback monetarily and commercially, I'm trying to say commercially and critically from his audience. So I mean, kudos to Concerned 8 for keeping this game up for like probably like 10, 12 years at this point. It's nuts. He says, I have an addiction to Stardew mods, but this time I've only been using the visual mods. Oh, really? I'm sure you can make that game look absolutely nuts with some visual mods at this point. Games like that, there has to be a very active modding scene, which is great. I mean, honestly, you can't not love that. He says, I literally moved the cheat menus to a different folder, which I call my mod purgatory, so I won't be tempted to beat the system. Yeah, that's also like a weird thing with the game, because I will admit that the one time I played Stardew Valley, or it was probably like the second time like starting over, I just used the duplicate item cheat because I just wanted to see like what the cutscenes would show me. So I used the duplicate item cheat and I filled out the entire community center. This last time I played Stardew, and my wife would probably be really pissed if she was watching me right now and heard me say that. But it does kind of ruin your playthrough in a lot of ways, because you will end up just like spamming through the entire game, and once the fun runs out, you basically just put it down. At least that's how I feel about games like that.